Assuming that a function f of x can be represented within a certain interval of convergence by a power series of the form f of x equals a sub 0 plus a sub 1x plus a sub 2 x squared plus a sub 3 x cube and so on, where the a's are constants to be determined. So mag-substitute po tayo ng 0 sa lahat ng x. So from our equation 1, magiging a sub 0 plus a sub 1 times 0 plus a sub 2 times 0 squared plus a sub 3 times 0 cube and so on. So magiging 0 na po ito, wala na po ito. And then ang matitira po is f of 0 equals a sub 0. Assuming that the series in equation 1 may be differentiated term by term and that this differentiation may be continued, and then, so galing po sa ating equation 1, mag-differentiate po tayo. So kunin natin yung f prime of x. So, derivatives ng a sub 0. So, yung a nga natin, sinasabi natin constant. So, ang derivative ng constant is 0. So, therefore, sa first term natin, 0 yung first derivative. So, 0 plus, second term po natin, derivative ng a1x. So, matitira na lang yung a sub 1 kasi siya po yung constant. And then, meron po tayong 2a sub 2 times x. Next is 3a sub 3 times x squared and so on. So, ito na po yung una. So, meron siyang kasunod na plus n times a sub n x raised to n minus 1 and so on. So, kumbaga, ito yung parang form na susundan natin para mag-continue po siya. Next, kunin po natin yung second derivative, f double prime is 0. Derivative ng a sub 1 is 0. Derivative po ng third term dito sa taas is 2a sub 2. And then yung kasunod po is 6a sub 3 times x and so on. So, ang form po na kasunod niyan is n times n minus 1 times a sub n times x raised to n minus 2. So, yun po yung form natin. Next, kunin natin yung third derivative, f triple prime of x. So, 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 6a3 plus plus. So, ang form na kasunod is n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times a sub n times x raised to n minus 3. So, ito po yun. Now, mag-substitute po tayo ng 0 sa lahat ng x. So, galing po dito sa una, palitan natin ng 0 lahat ng x. F prime of 0 equals a sub 1 plus 2a sub 2 times 0 plus 3a sub 3 times 0 cube and so on. Ano? So, wala na po ito. Anong natira? A sub 1. Ito na po yun. Next, mag-substitute naman tayo ng 0 dun sa pangalawa. F double prime of 0. E di 2a sub 2 plus 6a sub 3 times 0 and so on. So, ang matitira po dyan is 2a sub 2. Ito na yung pangalawa. Pero dito po sa ating second, nilagyan siya ng factorial. So, 2 factorial is 2 din naman po. Yung pangatlo po, f triple prime of 0. Kasi papalitan nga natin ng 0 lahat ng x. So, 6a cube plus dot dot dot. So, yung mga kasunod niyan, 0 na din naman. So, ang matitira is 6a cube. So, yung 6, kinonvert lang ito factorial form. So, 3 factorial. Siya din naman po is 3 times 2 times 1. 6 din naman po yung sagot niyan. So, dito yun sa pangatlo. Sa f triple prime. And then, meron tayong form. F raised to n of 0 equals n factorial a sub n. So, bali, ito yung naging form nung ating function na nilagyan natin ng, sinubstitute natin ng 0 lahat ng x. Now, solving for the constants. Okay. Punta po tayo dito. F prime of 0 equals a sub 1. Ito din naman yun, pinagbaliktad lang. So, dito tayo sa pangalawa. F double prime of 0 equals 2 factorial times a squared. So, i-rewrite natin. F double prime of 0 equals 2 factorial a sub 2. So, kunin ko yung value ng a sub 2. So, a sub 2 equals yung 2 factorial, i-divide ko dito sa ating left side ng equation sa f double prime of 0 over 2 factorial. Ito na yon. Yan. So, same as dito din po. Magiging a sub 3 equals f triple prime of 0 over 3 factorial. So, ito yun, And lastly, yung ating form, magiging a sub n equals f raised to n of 0 over n factorial. So, ito na yan. So, ito pong a sub 0 equals f of 0. Galing po yun dito. Same lang naman, Okay. So, if you would remember yung ating equation 1, ito po, i-rewrite ko po dito. Ito na siya. Yan. So, yung mga terms natin sa equation 1, papalitan po natin. So, katulad nito, a sub 0. Ano yung na-solve natin kaninang a sub 0? F of 0. So, yung a sub 0, magiging f of 0 na siya. Next, ano yung a sub 1 natin? So, galing kanina dito, a sub 1 equals f prime of 0. So, ito na siya. So, yung kasunod, a sub 2, papalitan ko po nito. A sub 3, papalitan ko nito. A sub 4, papalitan ko nung f up to fourth derivative of 0 over 4 factorial and so on. So, kung i-rewrite natin, magiging Maclaurin series na po siya. So, ito yung Maclaurin series of the power series expansion of f of x about x equals 0. So, pinangalan siya sa Scottish mathematician na si Colin Maclaurin noong 1698 up to 1746. So, ilang taon na kaya siya noon? In order to obtain the power series expansion of a function f of x and all of its derivatives must exist at x equals 0. There are some functions such as ln x, cotangent x, and x raised to 3 halves which do not have Maclaurin series since their derivatives do not exist when x equals 0. Now, mag-example po tayo sa Maclaurin series. So, obtain the Maclaurin series of e raised to x. So, ano nga po ba yung ating Maclaurin series kanina? So, ire-write po natin. Sabi po kanina, ang Maclaurin series is f of x equals f of 0 plus f prime of 0 times x plus f double prime of 0 over 2 factorial x squared plus plus f raised to n of 0 over n factorial x raised to n. Ayan. Ito yung form natin, ano? So, anong kailangan po natin? Kailangan ko daw po ng f of 0, f prime of 0, f double prime of 0, and so on. So, sa problem natin, ang magiging f of x po natin is yung e raised to x. Ayan. So, ang susunod kong gagawin is kunin ko yung first derivative ng ating function. Ang first derivative ng function natin is also e sub x, e raised to x. Ang second derivative is also e raised to x. Ang third derivative is also e raised to x. And then, i-continue mo lang siya. Ayan, stop po muna tayo. So, kailangan ko daw po ng f of 0. Meaning, ito daw po, palitan ko ng f of 0. Ano yung e raised to 0? So, di ba, any number raised to 0 is 1. And then, f prime of 0 is just also 1. F double prime of 0 is e raised to 0. 1 din naman po. F triple prime of 0 is 1. And then yung f raised to fourth derivative ng function is 1 din po. Now, ipasok na po natin dito sa pinaka form ng ating Maclaurin series. So, ang Maclaurin series daw po ng e raised to x ay, ano daw po yung f of 0? E di 1 plus f prime of 0 is 1 times x plus f double prime of 0 is 1 over 2 factorial times x squared plus, i-continue po natin, 1 over 3 factorial x cube plus 1 over 4 factorial x raised to 4 plus dot 1 over n factorial x raised to n. Okay, simplify lang po natin. So, 1 plus x squared over 2 factorial plus x cube over 3 factorial plus x raised to 4 over 4 factorial plus plus. So, ito na po yung Maclaurin series ng e raised to x. Next problem. Obtain the Maclaurin series for cosine x. So, ang function po natin is f of x equals cosine x. So, kukunin ko po yung first derivative ng function natin. F prime of x is negative sine x. At f double prime of x is negative cosine x. f triple prime of x is sine x at ang fourth derivative is cosine x. Ang ating fifth derivative is negative sine x. Ang ating sixth derivative is negative cosine x. So, palitan po natin ng 0 lahat ng x. So, f of 0 equals cosine 0 is 1. F prime of 0 is negative sine of 0 is 0. F double prime of 0 is negative cosine 0 is negative 1. F triple prime of 0 equals sine of 0 is 0. Fourth derivative ng ating function is cosine 0 is 1. Para sa ating fifth derivative of 0 is negative sine of 0 is 0. Sa ating sixth derivative is negative cosine of 0. So, negative 1. Now, ipasok po natin sa ating general formula na f of x equals f of 0 plus f prime of 0 times x plus f double prime of 0 over 2 factorial x squared and so on. So, ang Maclaurin series ng cosine x ay f of 0. Ano yung f of 0 natin? 1. Plus f prime of 0 is 0 times x plus f double prime of 0 is negative 1 over 2 factorial x squared plus f triple prime of 0 is 0 over 3 factorial x cube plus fourth derivative of 0 is 1 over 4 factorial x raised to 4 plus kasunod is 0 over 5 factorial x raised to 5 plus negative 1 over 6 factorial x raised to 6. Ayan. Plus dot plus ano kaya ang ating magiging form? So, sulat ko muna itong f raised to n of 0 over n factorial x raised to n. So, wala na po ito, ito. So, simplifying, ang Maclaurin series ng cosine x ay 1 minus x squared over 2 factorial plus x raised to 4 over 4 factorial minus x raised to 6 over 6 factorial plus dot. Ito na po yung ating Maclaurin series ng cosine x. Next, obtain the Maclaurin series for ln of 1 plus x. So, ang f of x po natin ay ln of 1 plus x. Kukunin po natin yung first derivative, f prime of x. So, ano kayang derivative ng ln x? So, balik po tayo sa differential calculus sa ating formula ng derivative. Yung pong derivative ng ln u. Siya po ay du over dx over u. So, para po dito, ang ating u ay 1 plus x. Ano yung du natin? Du natin is 1. So, 1 times dx. So, lagay ko yung dx sa left side. Du over dx equals 1. So, ang derivative ng ln 1 plus x natin is du over dx, which is 1, over ang u natin ay 1 plus x. So, yun yung ating first derivative ng function. 1 over 1 plus x. Or, pwede ko pong itaas yun sa denominator, 1 plus x raised to negative 1. Next, kunin natin yung second derivative ng ating function. So, para po dito, derivative po ng power. So, negative 1 times 1 plus x, negative 1 minus 1 equals negative 1 times 1 plus 1 raised to negative 2. So, ganun din po para sa ating third derivative ng ating function. Derivatives, power din po. So, 2 times 1 plus x. So, negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. Sa ating fourth derivative ng function is negative 6 times 1 plus x. So, negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. Sa ating fifth derivative ng ating function, edi 24 times 1 plus x raised to negative 5 na po ngayon. So, kunin po natin yung f of 0. F of 0 nitong ating ln times 1 plus 0. Ano kaya ang ln1? So, ang ln1 po ay 0. F prime of 0 is, so 1 over 1 plus 0 is 1. F double prime of 0. Okay, so 0, 1, negative 1. So, negative 1, F double prime. Next, F triple prime of 0. So, 0, 1, 2. So, magiging 2. F, ang fourth derivative of 0 is negative 6. At ang fifth derivative of 0 is 24. So, kung mapansin nyo, yun lang palang nasa number sa unahan. So, ipasok na po natin siya sa ating general formula sa Maclaurin series. So, ang Maclaurin series po ng ln of 1 plus x ay, so ang f of 0 natin is 0. plus f prime of 0 is 1 times x plus f double prime is negative 1 over 2 factorial times x squared plus 2 over 3 factorial x cube plus negative 6 over 4 factorial times x raised to 4 plus 24 over 5 factorial x raised to 5 plus dot. Okay. So, Maclaurin series ng ln of 1 plus x is x minus x squared over 2 factorial plus 2 x cube. So, ang ating 3 factorial po is 3 times 2. So, maka-cancel out na to. Minus 6x raised to 4. So, 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So, wala na po ito. Plus 24 x raised to 5. 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 4 times 3 is 12 times 2, 24. So, wala na po ito. Plus f raised to n of 0 over n factorial x raised to n. So, ang Maclaurin series ng ln of 1 plus x is x minus x squared over 2 plus x cube over 3 minus x raised to 4 over 4 plus x raised to 5 over 5. So, minus dot plus. Ito na yung Maclaurin series ng ln of 1 plus x.